Hello, I got a couple requests to show you how to make this little note card box using the Scholastic paper that I put on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations. So I said I would make a quick video. I do want to let you know that I cannot take credit for this. The measurements and stuff I got from somebody else, but I thought I would go ahead and show you how to make it. I cannot remember who I watched, but there are other ones out there probably just like this, but I did not come up with it. So it's just a little box to match something else I made for school, and when you open it, I'm just going to store my note cards in there. I have a lot of note cards that I use, so and it's got a magnetic closure, and it's got a 1-inch depth, so this will take you no time at all. You can decorate them really cute, you can give them as gifts. So let's go ahead and get started. You're not going to need a whole lot of paper for this, obviously. The first piece is 8 by 8.5, and you'll notice I have some numbers underneath the 8 and 8.5. Those are the score marks. So we're going to start with the 8.5 inches across the top, and on the 8.5 inch side we're going to score at 5.5 and 6.5. 5.5 and 6.5. Go ahead and turn your paper so it's on the 8-inch side, and there are 4 score marks for the 8-inch side. It's going to be 1, 2, 6, and 7. So score at 1 inch, 2 inches, oh shoot, 2 inches, 6, I hope you don't hear the lawnmower outside, and 7. Oopsie. Okay, that's all we do on that piece. So you can see that there's one side that doesn't have any scoring. The next piece you're going to need is a 4 by 7. Notice there are 2 numbers under the 7. Those are the score marks. That means the 7-inch side is across the top of your scoreboard, and we're going to score at 4 inches and at 5 inches. Okay, that's all the scoring you have to do. So I'm going to go ahead and put my mat on here, and we're going to start doing our burnishing of our score marks. Like I said, there's a 1-inch depth, so you could make these bigger if you needed to, but I thought that was a good size. So starting with the 4 by 7, after you burnish, you'll notice that one side is a lot longer than the other. This is actually the flap that goes on the top of the box, and so we're going to round, or at least I like to round on the long side, the 2 bottom corners, like so. That's all we have to do for that one. Let's go ahead now and burnish the, before we burnish, let's do our cutting first. That way I can avoid some of those deeper lines when I'm cutting. So the side that has no scoring at the top is at the top of my paper. Down at the bottom you'll see that there's some overlapping squares and rectangles. We are going to first cut out the 2 rectangles on the bottom on each side, both left and right. So I don't want to have a bump, so I'm going to go just to the left of the score mark on that side, and I'm going to go just a hair above the score mark to cut out those double rectangles. So it's like so, and I am going to do that on both sides. I think I got glue on my scissors. I need to clean them, they get stuck. Okay. So now you'll see that on your paper you have 2 squares on each side. We're going to take out the outside square on each of those. And I don't want the score indentation to show, so I just go right above that. I'm going to do that on both sides. It's the outside square we're taking off. So now you have one square, and we're going to take our scissors and snip it to the score mark, and that's going to become a tab that we're going to use to make our box. Now I am going to taper each of those so that they fold nicer with no gaps. So I'm just going to take a tiny little sliver off of each end. So you'll see I took just a tiny bit off on each. Makes it lay down nicer. Did that come off? Yeah. And on this one. Now we do want to do all of our matting before we put the book together. So I do have my pieces cut out for the matting. I will try and remember to measure each piece before I lay it down. Usually I don't give the matting dimensions. I just say go ahead and go 1/8 of an inch smaller than the size. But so what we're going to do now is burnish on the score marks. You'll see that this comes together super fast. Wish I could take credit for coming up with it, but I can't. That's off a little bit. Okay, so again with our corner rounder, I'm going to push in that side so I can get my corner rounder up located in the right spot, and I'm going to do the 2 short ends. I'll tuck that in for it to work. Okay, so 2 rounded. Now we're also going to round the upper right and left rectangles. Like so. Okay. Let's go ahead and there are certain things we can mat ahead of time, and then there are magnets, so we'll have to wait to mat after we put some magnets on. Just to give you a little heads up, there'll be 2 small magnets here. We don't want the magnets underneath this fold. We want them a little bit above so we have a stronger snap closure. And then obviously there's going to be some magnets underneath here in the corners. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to do my flap first. So this measures 4 inches, so I need 3 7/8. So whenever I'm matting, I'm going to go 3 7/8 inch wide. This was 1 inch, so I'm going to go 7/8 of an inch. So usually I ink my edges, but for this I did not, just because it's not an album, and that doesn't look like I need to trim that a hair. I don't like that. I must not have done it as well as I thought. I just need to take a little bit off. 3 7/8. Wonder if I did that with the other one too. Let me check. 3 7/8. Yeah, I must have done 4. Okay, that looks better. And I'm going to glue those on, this one on the front, on the top. And I'm just using art glitter glue because that's the best ever. And you just want to make sure it adheres real well. Don't go over your score marks. Hope my head's not in the way. Okay, let me get a dry wet wipe just to make sure I don't have any extra glue coming out. Oh, I gotta put you on hold. I got a phone call. Okay, I'm back at it. This piece is 3 7/8 by 3 3/4, I think. 3 7/8 by, yep, 3 3/4. I did corner round. That's going to go on that long front flap. The little piece, let's get dry. The little piece in the back doesn't get anything until we glue it down to the base. I just like to make sure I get all the edges real good. Okay. We also don't want to do, where's that bend? Oh, I think I did it. Oh, that's right. We also don't want to do the underneath because that's where our magnets are going to go, so we have to wait on that too. Okay. I am going to put this on my front cover, the front flap, but I'm going to wait until I might need to do another dark trim too. Might do it sideways. So I'll wait on that. So that's all I'm going to, nope, I'm going to do the inside, this inside 1-inch piece too. And I have some little glasses for that one. And then I'm going to stop on the flap and I'm going to move to the base. Okay. It's hard for me to see on this dark paper. So this was, I ended up doing 7/8 by 3 7/8 on this one. Okay, let's move that to the side. So here is the base of our box. I do not cover the inside because you don't really see it, this flap. But for the bottom, what did I choose for that? Where'd it go? I know I had it. Where'd it go? I tried to be organized. Shoot. Did it fall on the floor? I know I cut it. Oops, sorry. Oh, here it is. Duh. I think this is it. No, this isn't it. What the heck? Where did it go? It's just a small piece. Wonder if I cut into it. So this is my back. This is my top, sides. I don't see it now, people. I gotta cut one, I guess. Darn it. Oh, wait. Is this it? No. Sorry, give me a second. Here it is. I think. Yeah, this is it. So I gotta decide. That's too plain, so I gotta do this one. So this one is 3 7/8 by 2 7/8, I believe. Nope. Yep. 1 7/8. 1 7/8 by 3 7/8. I do need to corner around the top two, and I'll glue that down. Go. I'm going to lay this down flat just so it's easier. Make sure it's on there real good. Okay, we have to wait on these for a second. So I'm going to do my side, the side of the box, and that will be 7/8 of an inch wide by, how long did I do that? These right ones? Yeah, these measure 5 3/8. So 5 3/8 inches long by 1 7/8. And I'll glue each of those down to the outside. So you need 2 of those. And I'm going to flip this just so it's easier for me to burnish it and lay it down. Don't go over those score marks. Get rid of that excess glue. And the next one, make sure I do a dry fit first. Yep, that's right. 7/8 inches wide by 5 3/8 long. I think it was 5 3/8, wasn't it? Okay. Let's go ahead and do the bottom of our box. So that 1-inch piece down here. Let's see, is that the right direction? Not that you're going to see it, but yeah, no, it should be like this. So 7/8 inches by 3 7/8. Flatten that out just to make it easier. This is the Scholastic paper by Authentique. You can get it at Country Craft Creations. I'm using their artisan cardstock in this, it's kind of like a blue jean kind of color. I don't remember the name of it. So you can see that we're eventually going to be gluing those to the side like so, and then bringing this up like so. Let's go ahead and attach our lid to our base. So we're going to put glue on the back and line it up with our base like so. And then we're going to cover the back piece. So I'm going to bend that down like so, just to make it a little bit easier to line up. Ooh, I got some squishy glue. Make sure you have it so you don't go over. That looks about right. Check the top to make sure it's not hanging over at all. Now you might want to do a dry fit first just to make sure that you've got it so it fits nice. You might have to trim a hair off if it doesn't. Yep. Okay, so now I'm going to do the back piece. So that's 3 7/8 inches wide by 5 3/8 tall. So I'm trying to decide, do I want pencils? Yeah, I do. Or do, yeah, I want pencils. So let's glue that down. It's so much easier to do all your matting before you glue everything together to form the box. Okay. Now, like I said, I'm not going to mat this or this because you don't really see it. But if you want to do it to add sturdiness to your box, you certainly can. I didn't do the insides here either because, like I said, when I open this, I don't really notice that. I mean, you'd have to really turn and look, so it's fine with me. Okay, so we are going to, I think before I glue it together, I want to decide where I want my magnets to be. And remember, I want them above this, so about right here. So what I'm going to do is just, oh my gosh, another phone call. Okay, my sister calls again. I'm disconnecting her. Sorry. Okay, so you'll see I have two little dots here. When I put this up and I put this down, I just kind of eyeballed where I want the magnets to be. And so I just decided to put them right here. So I'm going to open this up and I'm just going to lay my magnets. I have 2 small ones. Well, actually 4 small ones because I need a partner. And I'm going to I put some score tape on them because I did not have any of the basic gray on hand. Those are the best, and those are at Country Craft Creations too. And I'm just going to lay both magnets that are together, and then we will end up putting the other one on the back of the flap, if that makes sense. Get the back off this, it's so small. There we go. Nope. There we go. Okay. And I'll just place this like so. All right. So now I am going to put this back together, and I'm going to hold it where it needs to be before I glue it. And I'm going to take the back off of this. Now I don't think it's going to stick, so I'm also going to put a little dot of glue, so I'll see the glue on here on the flap, so I'll know where to put them, because sometimes the glue, the scored tape, I don't put enough on. Okay, so I have my box the way it's going to be glued, and I'm going to put my lid down. I forgot to put the stupid, oh, is it going to stick? No. I got to put a little bit of glue on these just so I can see where they touch the top. Okay, so I'm holding this together. And when I open it, I'll see the glue marks, so I know where to put the partner. Come on. Okay. And take this one off. Let's make sure that that's in the right spot. So if I have to, I can still move it. I think that's gonna, I think that's gonna work actually. Okay, so now we can finish our matting. So these are 1 inch, so you're gonna go 7/8 of an inch. And the length of these, ooh, these are too long again. I must not have been paying attention when I think I was in a big hurry. So these need to be 5 3/8 inches long. So let me fix mine. 5 3/8 inches long. Let me put the two together here. 5 3/8. Yep. Okay, so now I have to decide what do I want. Nope, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I need to round it because we rounded these. So this one will go on this side. This one will go on this side. So I'll put some glue on there. And I'm going to flatten it out so it's easier for me to push down on it and get it to adhere. Don't go over the score mark. And I really want to make sure it lays down by that magnet, so I'm going to take some time and make sure I get it to stick around the magnet. I forgot to do the back of my box. I still got to do that. I didn't cut a piece for that. Kind of space that off. I forgot to cut this back piece. Oh well, it's not too late because I haven't glued my box together yet. Okay, next one. We'll go here. You know what? I think I might get a clothespin and just kind of set that just to make sure that lays flat by that magnet. Okay. All right. Lay that down. Burnish it. When they're that narrow, it's hard to make sure that you can stick the magnet in the middle so that it does lay down nice and neat. Okay, let me get another clothespin just to make sure. All right, so now we can do the top, and I'm using this one. So I got a corner around the top. I'm going to turn this around. This is the inside flap, 3 7/8 wide. I think it was 3 3/4 long. Looks good. Again, burnish real well around your magnets. I'm going to move these up here. Is that by the magnet? Move this one up here. And now I need to cut a back piece because I spaced it off. So let's see, do I have scrap paper? Do I want a solid? Does this match? Yep, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to do the polka dots. And I know it's 3 7/8 wide by 5 3/8. Let me cut that. 5 3/8 long. By 3 7/8. Do a dry fit. Yeah, that works. It needed that bright color on the back. I used a lot more like white on this one than the other one. Okay, let's lay that down like so. Don't go over your score marks, remember, you got to be able to fold it. Burnish, get rid of that extra glue that's seeping out. Okay, now we can glue the box together. So these two little tabs, we're going to put glue on the outside and we're going to attach it to that 1-inch piece like so. And I'm going to have my clothespins ready. So I'll do one at a time. I'll start with this one. And I'm going to bring that up, and I want to make sure that they line up real good if they're in the corner. Hold it for a second, and I will put a clothespin there. Okay, let's do the second one on the other side, that little tab. Bring that up and over. Okay, moved on me. And then the only thing we have left is to glue this, bring this bottom up and glue it to the side. So just let me give it a second to have that glue dry. Pick up my mess a little bit here while I'm waiting. Where'd that wood go? There it is. All right. Doesn't take that glue long to dry, so it should be ready. And then you just decorate after that. So let's take these off. Does that look dry? I'm going to put this one back on for a second. I plan on using these two pieces down at the bottom. I might have to trim them a little bit. And then like I said earlier, I got this one and I'll make a bow. I have a die for the bow. I might use a little stickles to put on the bell to make that sparkle right there or right here. I don't know. Okay, now it should be dry. So you want to put the glue on the back of your flap so that you don't go up too high. And you want to make sure that it gets put together and lines up real good on the side and at the bottom. So I'm going to put my finger where that 1 inch is so I don't go over. And about the same over here, 1 inch. Okay, I'm just going to hold it for a second. And what I'm going to do is get my spatula thing. I'm going to turn it upside down. And I'm going to put the lid back and I'm going to stick this in there and make sure it is sticking. You can use a ruler, stick it down in there. Okay. All right, and there is our box. Now it's just time to decorate. So I'll put a still picture on once I'm done decorating, but because I think this needs something behind it. Okay, hopefully that helped for those of you who wanted to make it. Thanks for watching. Visit countrycraftcreations.com if you want this paper, and I will see you soon. I'll see you soon. Bye.